Okay, did you know that literally millions of people overpay for their cell service by hundreds of dollars every single year? And why? Simply because they are completely terrified of losing their phone number. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to outline exactly how you can break free from those expensive, rigid carrier contracts and seamlessly port your existing phone number right over to Mint Mobile. We're going to make this transition incredibly smooth for you.
So let's dive right in and address everybody's absolute biggest fear when it comes to switching phone plans. You know what it is, that dreaded mass text notifying all your contacts that you've got a new number. New number, who dis? Nobody wants to send that text, and honestly, nobody wants to update their contact book either. Plus, think about it, your current number is tied to everything, your banking, your healthcare, all those two-factor authentication logins. But here's the really good news, you don't have to change it. Number porting is a totally standard, perfectly legal, and completely normal process that carriers handle every single day.
And the sheer financial motivation for making this switch, it's honestly staggering. If you look at a single line on a traditional postpaid carrier, you're typically paying somewhere between $65 and $85 a month. That adds up to an unbelievable $1,020 a year. Meanwhile, if you bring your number to a value provider like Mint Mobile, that cost can drop to as low as just $15 a month or $180 annually for unlimited talk and text. To put that into perspective, you are looking at hundreds of dollars in savings every single year compared to sticking with a traditional regulated monopoly.
To make this whole process completely foolproof, our explainer today is going to follow this chronological roadmap. We'll start with the Mint Mobile Advantage, run through your pre-porting checklist, execute the step-by-step porting process, tackle solving common porting challenges, wrap up with essential post-porting actions, and finally, finish with a conclusion and next steps.
Section 1. The Mint Mobile Advantage. Why making the switch is worth the effort. So, beyond just that incredible pricing, which again starts at that famous $15 a month mark, you actually aren't sacrificing quality here. You're getting high-speed 5G and 4G LTE connectivity on the nationwide T-Mobile network, all without being locked into some multi-year commitment. And thanks to FCC mandates, your long-standing phone number is legally yours to keep. Your current carrier literally cannot hold your digits hostage just because you went out and found a better deal.
Section 2. Your pre-porting checklist. Gathering your keys before you unlock the door. All right, before we do anything technical at all, we have to gather the required information from your current carrier. The absolute crucial point here is that you must have a completely unlocked device and an active account. Actually, let me repeat that, an active account, because if you cancel your old service early, you risk losing your number entirely, and nobody wants that. You're also going to need to dig up your exact account number and the billing zip code tied to your current plan. And finally, you need to request your number transfer PIN from the carrier you're leaving.
Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a number transfer PIN, or NTP? Well, it's entirely different from your standard account password or the PIN you use to unlock your phone screen. It's a highly specialized security code, usually 6 digits, generated by your current carrier solely to authorize the release of your number. Having the correct unexpired NTP is absolutely the most important part of this entire process. Think of it as your secret key. Without it, you're not going anywhere.
Section 3. Step-by-step porting process, executing the transfer to Mint Mobile.
With your secret key in hand and your device unlocked, it's time to actually initiate the transfer. Following these steps right inside the Mint Mobile app is incredibly straightforward. First, make sure you're connected to a solid Wi-Fi network and download the app. Open it up, tap Activate your SIM card, and punch in the 11-digit ACT code that's either on the back of your physical SIM card or in your eSIM confirmation email. The app will then explicitly ask if you want a new number or if you want to keep your current one. You're going to select Keep Your Current One. This is exactly where you plug in those keys we just gathered, your old account number, that special number transfer PIN, and your zip code.
Okay, pause. Before we go any further, I literally cannot stress this enough. Do not cancel your old service yet. Your number has to remain active on your old carrier for the porting handoff to successfully complete. It's kind of like passing a baton in a relay race, right? The first runner can't leave the track until the second runner firmly has the baton in their hand. This handover usually takes anywhere from just a few minutes to maybe a couple of days.
Section 4. Solving common porting challenges. Defeating the monsters of the transfer process.
Sometimes, technology just throws us a curveball. So what happens if your hero's journey hits a snag? If the Mint app displays a generic failure notification or just hangs indefinitely in a transfer pending state, please don't panic. You're most likely facing an API mismatch, which is essentially just a digital miscommunication between Mint's activation engine and your old donor carrier. Because of strict security protocols, the app often can't tell you exactly what went wrong,
but it almost always comes down to two specific things. The first really common culprit is mismatched credentials. This happens if you have a slight typo in your account number. Sometimes carriers require leading zeros that you might have just missed, or if your transfer PIN happened to expire. The fix? Super easy. Cancel the pending request, verify the exact formatting with your old carrier, get a fresh PIN, and try again. The second hurdle is an administrative block, something like port out protection. Some carriers like T-Mobile, for instance, have this turned on by default for your security. So even if you have the right PIN, their system will block the port until you literally call them up on the phone and ask them to toggle that protection off.
Now, here is a fascinating edge case, and it is pretty wild. In an incredibly surprising twist that's been documented by users switching from legacy prepaid carriers, places like Simple Mobile, an invalid PIN error might actually mean you have to dig up the very first PIN you created when you opened the account years ago. Yeah, even if you've changed your PIN multiple times since then, the old carrier's ancient database might still be looking for that original code to authorize the release. It's a super weird quirk for sure, but it's exactly the kind of insider knowledge that can save you hours of pulling your hair out.
Section 5. Essential post-porting actions. Testing your new digital home.
Once the app confirms your transfer is complete and your number has officially landed at Mint Mobile, it's time for the victory lap. Now you can physically eject that old SIM card and pop in your new Mint Mobile SIM, or just finish the eSIM activation if you're going the digital route. Always restart your phone. This forces the device to ping the new cellular towers and establish a fresh connection. If your data isn't working right off the bat, you might just need to quickly update your APN settings in your network menu. That basically acts as your phone's roadmap for finding the internet. Then the most important test, call a friend, send them a text, and have them reply. Only after you've successfully tested those inbound and outbound communications should you reach out to your old carrier to officially sever ties and stop their billing cycle.
Oh, and a critical warning before you pull the trigger on that cancellation. Please remember to back up your cherished voicemails and text threads beforehand. Because those files actually live on your old carrier's proprietary servers, they are not going to automatically make the jump to Mint's network with you. If you have audio messages from loved ones that you really want to keep, make sure to record them or save them as audio files before you initiate the port.
Section 6. Conclusion and next steps. Reclaiming your financial freedom.
Let's circle back to exactly why we did all this in the first place. $600 to $840. That number represents the estimated annual savings a typical single-line user can expect when switching from a traditional postpaid carrier to a value provider like Mint Mobile. By simply exercising your legal right to take your number with you, you are taking back a massive amount of your own money month after month, year after year.
As a quick professional disclaimer, always be sure to verify your specific device compatibility and account details directly with Mint Mobile customer support, because individual carrier policies can sometimes shift around. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Now that you've kept the number your friends and family already know, and you've systematically slashed your monthly cell phone bill, what are you going to do with the hundreds of dollars you saved this year? That is all for this explainer. Thanks so much for learning with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.